Welcome to my channel, Ask and Answer. Today, we will discuss the aftermath of war. The aftermath of war is a complex and multifaceted period that follows the cessation of armed conflict. It is a time of great significance and often represents a critical juncture in the history of nations and societies. The consequences of war extend far beyond the battlefield, affecting every aspect of life: social, political, economic, and psychological. Today, we will explore the various dimensions of the aftermath of war, elaborating on the lasting impact it leaves on individuals and communities, as well as the broader global context. Before we continue, you may click the like and subscribe button below to see more videos in the future. At the most immediate level, the aftermath of war is marked by the physical destruction caused by the conflict. Cities and infrastructure are often reduced to rubble, leaving a long and arduous path to recovery. The cost of rebuilding can be astronomical, and it may take years, if not decades, to restore what was lost. Homes, schools, hospitals, and basic amenities must be reconstructed, not only to provide for the basic needs of the population but also to stimulate economic recovery. This phase of rebuilding is often referred to as post-war reconstruction and is critical to setting the stage for recovery and long-term stability. Economically, war inflicts tremendous damage on a country. The costs of the conflict itself, including military expenditures, loss of productive capacity, and damaged infrastructure, can be staggering. The immediate aftermath often sees high levels of unemployment as industries struggle to regain their footing. Moreover, the uncertainty of war can drive away investors and lead to reduced foreign trade, further hampering economic growth. In the long term, nations may be burdened with substantial debt, hindering their ability to invest in social programs, education, and healthcare. The social aftermath of war is perhaps the most poignant and enduring. Beyond the physical scars of destruction, individuals and communities are deeply affected by the trauma of war. The psychological toll on combatants and civilians alike can be profound. The memories of violence, loss, and suffering linger for generations. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a common consequence of war, and its effects can persist for years, even decades, after the conflict has ended. In addition to the psychological impact, war can disrupt the social fabric of communities, leading to the displacement of populations, separation of families, and the breakdown of social bonds. War also often exacerbates existing social divisions and prejudices. Ethnic, religious, or political fault lines that may have contributed to the outbreak of conflict can become even more pronounced in the aftermath. Reconciliation and social healing become critical components of post-war recovery, as these divisions can undermine efforts to rebuild and establish lasting peace. Political changes are another prominent feature of the aftermath of war. The power dynamics within a nation can shift dramatically as a result of conflict. Regime change, the dissolution of states, or the emergence of new political actors are all possibilities. In some cases, external powers may become involved in post-war nation-building, which can bring about significant political reconfiguration. The establishment of a new government and the drafting of a constitution often follow, with the hope of creating a stable and inclusive political system. International relations are also significantly impacted by the aftermath of war. The global balance of power can shift, and the strategic interests of nations can change as new alliances and conflicts emerge. Humanitarian crises, caused by war or its aftermath, can lead to international intervention, ranging from peacekeeping missions to humanitarian aid. Additionally, post-war negotiations often produce treaties or agreements that redraw national borders or establish new international norms and standards. Furthermore, the aftermath of war often presents challenges related to justice and accountability. War crimes, genocide, and other atrocities may have been committed during the conflict, and there is a moral and legal imperative to hold those responsible accountable. International tribunals, such as the International Criminal Court, may be established to try individuals for war crimes, crimes against humanity, or genocide. However, achieving justice and accountability can be a complex and politically sensitive process, as it often involves addressing the actions of former leaders and powerful individuals. One of the most pressing global challenges in the aftermath of war is humanitarian relief. The immediate needs of displaced and suffering populations require coordinated efforts from the international community. Humanitarian organizations and aid agencies step in to provide food, clean water, medical care, and shelter to those affected by the conflict. These organizations also play a crucial role in facilitating the return and resettlement of refugees and internally displaced persons. Another significant aspect of the aftermath of war is the demobilization and reintegration of combatants. In many conflicts, fighters are left without a clear path back to civilian life. Disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration programs are essential to help combatants transition to a civilian existence, including vocational training, education, and psychological support. Failing to reintegrate former fighters effectively can lead to insecurity and the perpetuation of violence. Environmental consequences of war are often overlooked but can be significant. Armed conflict can result in environmental damage, such as deforestation, water contamination, and pollution. This damage can have long-term effects on the health and well-being of communities, as well as on the natural environment. Addressing these environmental issues is crucial in the aftermath of war to ensure the sustainability of recovery efforts. In conclusion, the aftermath of war is a period of great complexity and significance. Its impact is felt at every level, from the individual to the international community. The physical, economic, social, and political consequences of war can be profound and enduring, shaping the future of nations and societies. Efforts to rebuild and reconcile in the wake of conflict are essential for achieving lasting peace and preventing the recurrence of violence. The challenges of the aftermath of war are immense, but they also offer opportunities for positive change and progress. It is a critical time for societies to come together, learn from the past, and work towards a more peaceful and prosperous future. You may share your thoughts on the aftermath of war at the comment section below. Thank you for watching Ask and Answer. See you again next time.